It's time. Qualifying final. Adelaide Crows in Adelaide. Let's absolutely go. The sun is shining, the days are getting just a little bit longer, and September finals footy is in the air. The Pies take on the Crows in only a couple of days as I'm recording this. And the nerves haven't really kicked in yet. Like, I feel really excited. Like, I leave for Adelaide on Wednesday morning, going to get there a day earlier just to sort of take it all in and not be, too much in my head and stuff like that. But the nerves haven't kicked in. I'm sure they'll kick in probably Wednesday night or even on Thursday. But at the moment, I just feel so excited and so almost blessed to be back in the finals after the flag in 23, after, the season that we had in 24, to be back in finals with a double chance when people just were writing us off and the journos and everyone was just writing us off, and we're here, we made it. We stumbled a little bit, but we ultimately made it, and we take on the Crows in probably the most anticipated finals in or finals game in a long time. I would reckon. Maybe that's a bit biased because I'm a Collingwood supporter, obviously. But it's definitely the biggest game that the Crows have played in since the 2017 grand final, and all the pressure will be absolutely on them. It'll be on us as well to sort of perform, but don't get it twisted. The pressure is all on the Crows. Top of the ladder, best attacking team, best defending team. Um, they absolutely smashed the competition so far this year. Minor premiers. The pressure is on Adelaide to perform at their home ground. So what is this game going to look like? We know from experience that finals footy is high pressure footy. And you really just have to look back to the round 23 game, just only a couple of weeks ago when we did play Adelaide, lost to them by 3 points. But that game, yes, it opened up a little bit. In that first quarter, we were just extraordinary. The second quarter, Adelaide got on top of us. But then it was just a hard-fought contest. Yes, it was probably because a little bit about the rain as well. But 80-plus tackles, 30-plus tackles inside forward 50. That was finals footy. That was pressure footy. We were the pressured Pies. And I know I say that all the time. But we were the pressured Pies and not the pressured Pies. So that's what we need to bring. And look at 2023. And I hate to keep comparing our season so far to 2023. But in those three games that we played, we won it by a combined 12 points and won a flag. Like, that's how close this game is going to be. And probably the whole final series just in general. I think it's probably going to be the best final series we've had in a long time. Like, all the clubs competing. The Suns get to play in their first final series. It's going to be really, really exciting. All this season, or most of this season, Collingwood have been great in a couple of things, right? One of the best defenses in the league. It teetered off a little bit towards the end there. Um, Going inside 50 has been absolutely phenomenal. Converting hasn't been phenomenal, but scoring off turnovers, we're a good forward half team. The pressure that we bring, all of this comes into play. We've been building little bits, little bits, little bits, and when we're going to Fremantle earlier in the season and we're resting four players, when we're starting Pendles as a sub against the Suns, when we're resting Mychek against the Suns, when we're doing all these little bits, we're doing it for this start of the finals. Now, Craig McRae has said all year that the AFL season is split up into 4 seasons. We're in that last quadrant. We're in that last season, that season of spring. Form goes out the window, I reckon. Form goes right out of the window. You don't care about how many wins, how many losses you have. You've got the double chance. You're top four. You start again. This is an entirely new season, the season of spring. And we're one of the best at it that are playing in the finals right now, along with Geelong and probably and Brisbane as well. But Adelaide, what I'm worried about with Adelaide, well, not really worried, but they just don't have that experience, right? They just don't have that experience. And how much does that come to bite them on the ass? We were, hassled for being too old, too experienced. We've got 30, 10 players over 30 playing for us and all this sort of stuff. But this is when it matters most. This is when you need it. This is when you look back and say, okay, um, Jared Wade, Craig McRae, the strength and conditioning team, all of these guys, this is where they're making their money because we were able to rest and manage players throughout the year for theoretically 3 games. They just need to perform for 3 games because you win 3 games and you're the premiers. I know that sounds super easy, and it's not super easy, but you win 3 games. It's not we're doing it for the long run anymore. We're doing it for right now. This is short term success right now. It's 3 games, and we're the premiers. For the last bit of the season, I've been saying I'd rather lose to Adelaide in that round 23 game to break that 11 game winning streak against them and that good record against Adelaide Oval, because I'd rather get that over and done with, get that jinx out, and then beat them in a final and not lose to them. Because if I reckon if we had beaten Adelaide in round 23, we probably go into this game thinking, okay, Adelaide are due one. They've got the one that they were due now, and now it's just ground zero. It starts again. It starts right now. Adelaide Oval, we play really well there at training. They condense the ground to have Adelaide Oval dimensions. There's just no wings. There's no wings, and we saw it when we played it best in that first quarter, down the middle. Chaotic football, frantic football. It can't be sustained for 4 quarters. But what it can be though is a great avenue to goal. In that first quarter against Adelaide in round 23, that's what we did. We kicked 5 goals. We went away from that, didn't touch the corridor at all, weren't lowering our eyes, and that's where we're going to win or lose the game. Are we lowering our eyes, or are we going to kick it long, kick it straight to Marquine, kick it straight to Worrell, who will just eat us up? In that round 23 game, Adelaide played one spare man in defense, and then we were like, yeah, all right, we'll play one spare man back as well, because they've got Thilthorpe and Walker and Fogarty and all these bloody big bastards in the forward line, and they're great. So that's why we're playing a spare man down there. But we have to even up the contest. We can't let these guys just run and jump at it unimposed. Put body on. Put you know, just do something, because insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again and expecting a different result. It even happened against Melbourne where Max Gawn was doing that. We look best when we're lowering our eyes, we're pinpoint passing, and we've got some really good users of the ball. And that's where, like I said, we will win or lose this game. It's how efficient we can be going inside the forward 50, because 71 inside forward 50s for 16 scoring shots in round 23 isn't going to cut it in a finals. Now, my predicted ins and outs and the substitute for this match. Now, I've got us making 3 changes. That's mainly because of what I was hearing from Fly's presser today. And I know I didn't get to do the final siren video that I like doing. Just a couple of things came up, and I wasn't able to get that out. But he did say that Mason Cox-Magnet is going to be thereabouts, and there's reports coming out that McStay has a bit of a shoulder injury. Could we see McStay come out, Cox come in? I think Parker is definitely going to be in there for Hal. And I've got, it could go either way, but I've got Allen in over Steele just based on what I'm seeing in training. It looks like Allen was with the first team a little bit more than Steele was, but I do have Allen as the substitute. Now, I know the argument for McStay is he's only kicked 3 goals in the last couple of games. He's only been doing this, he's only been doing that. But he's had to do multiple roles for the last, I don't know, 6 or so weeks. He's been absolutely flogged, and you've got to cut him some slack for, he's just cooked. By the time he gets back to the forward line, he's absolutely cooked. But what Mason Cox brings is, again, the E word, experience. He knows finals footy. He loves finals footy. And if we're going long into the forward line, Keane and Worrell aren't going to jump over Mason Cox. They're going to chop his arms. He's going to hopefully get a couple of free kicks. And could you just imagine Adelaide Oval, Coxie in the first quarter, gets the monkey off his back, kicks the opening goal? That would be incredible. But my big calls and predictions, like I said, I think this is going to be a hard fought match. I think it's going to be 2 goals either way. I've got us winning by 10 or 11 points. I don't see us blowing the Crows out of the water. I would love to. I would absolutely love to go to Adelaide Oval and just blow them out of the water, but I don't see it happening. It is going to be a hard fought contest. I reckon even the scoreline's going to be pretty sort of low. It might be between the 60 and 70 point mark. And I know if it's going to be, I think it's a little bit of a drier day than it was in round 23. I'm seeing that it might be wet, but I don't think pouring or anything like that. It's going to be hard for our defenders. They've got their work cut out for them, but it's team defense, and we've done it once, nearly twice, as well against the Crows. And I think that will be okay. It's just about our efficiency going forward. So I have us winning by 10 or 11 points. My big call is based on Mason Cox coming in. I think he's going to kick 3 goals. And it might be hard for McStay to get back into this team if Cox has an absolute blinder. But that's my preview for this qualifying final. Let me know your thoughts down below. Until then, like, comment, subscribe, tell your family, tell your friends, tell your pets, and until next time, double shackers, I'll swoop you later.